So this guy named Doug Ford decided to take a shot at DeSantis. He mocks DeSantis. Then DeSantis mocks Doug Ford because Doug Ford says Florida's hurting. Rob, go ahead and play that clip on Florida hurting. Go for it.
Canadians are no longer flying to Florida. They're not. Their snowbirds have basically, it's dried up. There's been an organic boycott of tourism into America. Do you support that? And are you going to go to Florida this year?
Yeah, so let me tell you, it's going to be the first time I'm not going to Florida. But I talked to so many people. Don't let this guy, Trump, determine and ruin your life and everything. That's my personal choice. Maybe some families have gone to Florida their whole lives. Go to Florida. You know, that's great. But I encourage you to stay here and support local tourism. But you can't let the one tyrant change your lives, right? You just can't let it happen. I'm doing it out of my own personal choice because I just can't do it. But don't let this guy change your lives. If you go down and you see, you know, maybe their grandparents are down there. Maybe they're somewhere else. So we'll get through this. But they're hurting down there right now. They're hurting on all fronts. They're hurting on their economy. President Trump is at the lowest rating that any president has been in the first year, and God knows probably 100 years. So it's taking effect.
Okay, pause
and
that. All right, now let's go to DeSantis responding. I don't know if he knows what's going on here. Every day, Canadians are moving here trying to avoid your escape taxes that you have. Here's Ron DeSantis. Actually, we continue to break tourism records and win the Stanley Cup. Florida breaks its own record again, 34.4 million visitors in second quarter of 2025. Tom, what do you have to say about this with what Doug Ford is taking shots at the governor?
Well, words talk, numbers scream, and Ron DeSantis just checked Doug Ford into the boards. Excuse me, I'm over here dying. No, what I was saying is DeSantis absolutely checked Doug Ford into the boards on this. It's like, oh, they're hurting down there. That's just those toss-away comments by a politician who's not looking at the numbers. And is the economy perfect? No. He said, but look at tourism down here. And by the way, all I have to do is look around at the Canadian license plate. There's a hell of a lot of Ontario license plates down here this time of year, which means that they're still down here. Are they down here for tourism? Or are they down here for, you know, the ultra cold part of the winter for rheumatism and arthritis and just enjoy the weather and everything? Seems like a lot of them are down here, and it's all happening. So I love my governor, and I love this comment by my governor. I thought it was a beautiful, measured, factual response. And I think that, if anything, up there in Canada, they're suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, and it frustrates them that certain things are still going well here. I think it just pisses them off because, remember, what percent of the American economy is the Canadian economy? I think the answer is 6.1.
Canada is Florida.
Well, I think Canada is only is 6.1 of like the U.S. economy, 6.1%. So it's like, dude, you need the trading partner. You need this. And in the middle of your socialist hissy fit and debanking truckers and doing all the things you guys have done in the last 2 years, what have you done to help yourselves outside of political headlines that make it look like you're saying something? They need to get it together because the Canadian people are down here are factually talking to us. We have wonderful Canadians that came down here, moved down here, paid the exit tax. We didn't know them. Pat and I didn't know who these guys are. They introduced themselves at the cigar lounge. Who are you? We're from Canada. We moved down here, and we love your cigar lounge, and now we're members, and we paid the exit tax, and we've emigrated legally. It took us 4.5 years to put this together, but we went through the proper channels. And we're like, welcome. What are you going to do? And you remember what they said, Pat? Well, we're going to figure it out, but we're going to start something. Me and Roy here, we're starting something because we had the means to sell our homes and come down here. God bless them. God bless them. But those people left Canada. 2 great business partners that have significant wealth just left Canada. And they're at our cigar lounge.
They come to the guys like, can I meet other people here, friends? I want to make friends. I said, you're not just going to make friends. You're going to make friends from the exact town you left in Toronto. I go to the other side. I grab Roberto. I go to the other side. I'm like, here, guys, make friends. Toronto family, same values, business owners, go to dinner together. They're best friends now that they met at the Boardroom Cigar Lounge, which, by the way, Boardroom Cigar Lounge, Rob, if you want to put up the clip, January 2nd to kick it off, we'll be doing a live podcast with Stephen A. Smith on January 2nd to kick off the new year with Stephen A. Smith. It'll be on a Friday night. It'll be our first podcast of the year that we'll be doing at the Cigar Lounge. You got to be a member to be at the event. You want to learn more, Rob, put the link below for them to go to it. So, Pomp, yourself, when you hear a story like this, you lived here for a couple of years. You're back in New York now, okay? When you were down here, what was the experience like? And now going back to New York, do you feel you're becoming more Canadian because you're closer to Canada? Maybe you're going to side with Doug. Where are you at with this?
I think Doug Ford, there's this thing of you step on other people in order to try to make yourself seem taller. That seems like Doug Ford's entire strategy, right? If he can put his name in a headline next to Trump, if he can put his name in a headline next to DeSantis, then people know who Doug Ford is. But my guess is that nobody in America really cares about Doug Ford. Nobody knows who he is. And probably in Canada, they're not even going to remember him in a couple of years. The reason being is because if you sit and you constantly just attack everyone, you are destructive, you're not constructive. And history is very kind to people who are constructive, who build things, who create things, who solve problems, who are constantly optimistic and pushing forward. What we have is a very large divergence in politicians. And I'll give you an example here in America that just came out. I don't know if you guys saw the recent video from Bernie Sanders. This one is all time. He wants to put a moratorium on building data centers in America. Okay, why? Because he believes that AI only benefits rich people. And so he's going through this whole thing, and you're saying, wait a second, hold on, man. We're locked in a geopolitical competition. Like you heard Trump, you heard DeSantis, you heard they're trying to push this forward. There's got to be some guardrails right there. Somewhat of like a prudent approach to a new technology that's obviously innovative. And Bernie's, look at this. He wants to put a moratorium on the construction of data centers that are powering the unregulated sprint to develop and deploy AI. Oh my God. Probably the single most important technology that not only, by the way, as you heard Trump talk about in the Oval Office, is going to help push drug development forward, right? Is going to do all these different things. And then when you listen to this thing, he wants democracy to catch up. I don't even know what that means.
Regulation of taxes.
That's democracy.
Right? But like a normal person would just say that. So, I mean, look, again, forget whatever your politics are, but if you look at a Doug Ford or Bernie Sanders, right? Again, sometimes they may have a good idea or two, but these things as they approach AI and this like global competition, it just seems like it's all about marketing, but it's not actually about driving results for their citizens.
You know what the exit tax is? Like if you wanted to leave Canada, say you invested into something $1 million. You bought a business, now it's worth $5 million, okay? You're selling, you got $4 million in capital gains. To exit and leave Canada and take your money, you have to pay your 50% taxes, give or take. So your $4 million goes to $2 million, then you can leave Canada and come to Florida.
It's like getting
So
divorced.
it's basically same as the U.S.
Yeah, exit tax is what they got. Would you say?
Yes, it's like getting divorced. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, it is a divorce, but they don't want you to leave, but people are leaving in a major way. How often do you run into Canadians here?
Oh, a good amount. And like you're saying, it's crazy, like the caliber of people they're losing to. Think about like who's being attracted to the things they're saying, and then who's being attracted to a place like this. Like, I'll take high caliber people like that all day. And yeah, man, it's like why is this guy taking a shot like the place in the biggest position of strength? Like it's objectively false that we're doing bad here. Like it's the highest growth rate of any of the states aside from Texas.
But you gotta love the fact. And by the way, just a crazy question. Maybe we don't need to spend a lot of time on this. Just a crazy, crazy question. Is there any chance DeSantis can be a president one day? Is there any chance?
Yeah, someday.
Is there any chance? Is there any chance? Can you ask the poll, Rob? Okay.
What time frame?
What should be the poll, Rob? What should be the poll?
In the next 25 years, is it possible?
Is there any chance DeSantis will be a president? Put yes, no. What should be the poll? What should be the question?
I think the time frame's key because
Just put yes or no. Is there any chance DeSantis could be a president one day? Let's see what the audience will say. What do you think, Pomp?
I don't know. It's a cop-out answer, but I really don't know. Right? I mean, look, I could make an argument on both sides. If you want to take a constructive conversation, then Florida is a very fast-growing state. They've got low taxes. I think that there's a lot of people who have moved here, and so people are voting with their dollars and feet, and they want to go there. On the other hand, there's a lot of things where the culture wars and things that just like the general population doesn't really care about, right? But again, Trump became president. He engaged in some of the stuff as well. So the thing that I find most interesting about politics and predicting the future is not so much the candidates and how they'll evolve. It's that the world evolves. If you think about Trump, people have talked about this ad nauseum. He's like a 1980s, 1990s Democrat, but he's a Republican now, right? Who's running. And so sometimes, when you look at it through that lens, like everything he does makes a ton of sense. Mm-hmm. Imagine telling someone in 1990, Donald Trump's going to be president as a Republican. Mm-hmm. They'd be like, shut up. Right? So that's only, a couple decades. Well, what's going to happen in 30 years from now? Could DeSantis be president as a Democrat? You know what I mean? You start this.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Right. Right now, in the constructs and the politics and the parties we see right now, we got like 60-40. No, 57-43, so less than 60-40. But let me give you the scenario. J.D. Vance is defeated. Marco Rubio was the VP, and everything they tried, because of whatever issues, the Democrats are in power for one administration. We all know what's going to happen to the U.S. government. In that next election, would a centrist, practical, common sense Republican have wings? I think he could. So I think it's all in the context of the future and how it plays out. The way it's going right now, could he be president next time? I don't think that plays out. I don't think the Republican machine, the donors and everything that goes in with getting there plays for him. But what if the Republicans lose that one, and then 4 years later, they're looking for like this practical guy who look what I did for Florida. Look, guys, look what I did for Florida. And look, you thought you had J.D. Vance. You didn't. It didn't happen. And we've had this crazy Gavin Newsom for 4 years. I'm your guy. I think at that point, you take the survey again, it's different. So I think we have to see the pages turn. I love how he's governing right now. I love the governor. I am a staunch defender of term limits, and I hope that what comes after his term limit is a continuation of the common sense he brings.
My only problem with him was one thing. When I had him on the podcast, I had one problem with him. He didn't call Trump. He didn't say thank you, and he went in attack mode instead of wanting to build collaboration relationship. He went after the guy thinking he's above him because he had 1.5 million more votes than he did when he first got elected and won by 34,000 votes. It's the only thing. 2024, I only wanted one person to win for president because of what happened the last 4 years. And history only wanted one person on the conservative side to get voted to win. My opinion. DeSantis can have his time, but that was the only problem. Everything else, if this guy in the future decides to, I don't think it's going away. Now that his wife is not going to be running and Byron Donalds and others are going to be fighting in Florida. And by the way, for a lot of people that don't think it's going to be a lock, did you see who won in Miami? Did you see what she's doing out there? So,
you want a good one?
Yeah.
I used to ask people on the podcast all the time, who do you think could be president? What's the most outrageous? The best answer I ever heard was Ivanka Trump as a Democrat. Right? But I started thinking about it more. And the two sleepers that I think that could be president? Kim Kardashian or The Rock. And The Rock, one of the things that people don't realize is in the debate stage, there's a bunch of studies that show whoever is most physically dominant usually gets the votes. So Trump, when he's on the stage, he's in the middle, right? And there's like this thing from a voter standpoint. But he also, if you listen to a lot of interviews, they've asked him, would you ever be president? He goes, well, if the American people wanted me to be, right? So he's kind of keeping the door open. But the reason why I think Kim Kardashian is so interesting is because I think there's a very large contingent of the country that now realizes a lot of elections are determined by white, liberal, young women. Well, who do they look up to? Whether you like it or not, Kim Kardashian is one of those people. She has immense reach. You think that some of these guys in the politics world have reach? Talk about a single Instagram post from her. And she's the only person I know who's been like a chameleon who can go from sex tape to reality TV star to lawyer to entrepreneur. And so I don't know if these types of people want to be president, but I think that what we're learning is having a monopoly on attention drives outcomes of election. Mamdani is a great example of that in New York City. These are people who have, on a scale in politics, off the charts monopoly on attention.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I was with you when you said Ivanka's a Democrat. I'm like, okay, that's creative. I was with you when he said The Rock, because we've talked about it. Him and I speak it, and we've had him at one of our events, and specifically we talked about presidency. Kim Kardashian. That's when I'm like, are you trying to get her on the CFO Sylvia? Is that what is that what the idea is? Hey Kim, can you please go download
CFOsylvia.com. Pull that up, Rob. Pull that up.
If she asks and says, change it to CFO Kim, I would do it, and maybe you change the picture
Kim.
CFO Kim.
She
K.
only can get hired if she goes through higher metrics, right?
President Kardashian, how exactly did you get Putin to agree to end the Ukraine war?
I can't tell you. It's insider information. But listen, she's got a massive depth chart, so she may be able to do it. Who knows? Her contact list is
fully
massive.
deployed airbags.
So every time I'm at this campus and I'm in my conference room and I look to my left and I see 15 people walk into the other building, they're getting a tour. That means we've hired 15 new people, okay? And last week we had 10 new hires that we had 45 job openings. Right now we have 35 job openings. We are hiring. If you're somebody highly qualified, you're educated, you're hungry, you want to be part of something that you want to go on a run for 20 years, a lot of people, if you just watch us, you think it's a podcast. And by the way, you may have a son, a daughter, a friend, somebody that's fully qualified that wants to be part of something and bring their talent to us. Not an easy place to work. We work very, very hard at a place like this. But if you think this is just a podcast, I want you to watch this clip to give you a little bit of a glimpse, and then I'll give you a link to go apply for the 35 job openings that we have right now. Go ahead, Rob. Many times when people think about Valuetainment, all they think about is a podcast. But it's a lot more than that. It's 9 companies working together on an 11-acre campus. If I was to give you a virtual tour here, you'll see the HR department hiring, talent acquisition. We have full-stack developers that are working on Connect and Hire Metrics. We have a full-fledged events team that puts together events with thousands of people. We have a merch department designing the latest product. We just launched the FLB shoes made in Italy. We have a marketing department. Then if you go to the complete opposite side of the building, 50, 60 people making calls, working for David Consulting, sales, setters. And then on the complete opposite side of the campus, there's a full-on production company with editors, shooters, creating content, doing podcasts. Then you can drive down a couple miles and go to our private boardroom cigar lounge with members only. Regardless of what it is, working at Valuetainment, every day is a surprise. You could be walking into work and right next to you is a governor, is a billionaire, is an athlete. We are hiring aggressively, but Valuetainment isn't for everybody. For the right person, this could be the last company you ever work for. So if you're watching this and you want to learn more, go to vt.com/careers and apply now. There you go. Go to vt.com/careers and apply now. Rob, if we can put the link below as well, that will be wonderful. Okay.
Can I say something about the people I met here?
Please, go for it.
Excellent. A+. Every single person. High energy, smart. And I ask every place I go, I ask them, what's it like working here? What's the best part? What's the worst part? And the woman that I was just talking with, you know what she told me? She said, it's great to have a leader who's pushing forward. There's a movement. You feel like you're contributing, but it's fun as well. It's very rare where you can work really hard and have fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you for saying that.
Yeah.
And whoever said that, can we
I might apply. she was a good sales pitch.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
Bring your talents to just north of South Beach.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.